Mohammed Light. He's an emotional player indeed, and that chat is certainly helpful. Now, of course, we've seen him able to do without it, as he's played live on stage to a championship twice, but certainly likes that during these remote gameplays as he opens up with Electro Spirit and Monk against the Chef P.E.K.K.A. of kitasiyan. Are we seeing a Goblin Giant deck here?
Yeah, it's so cool. So this used to happen, like, especially when I first started commentating, when I really knew the meta at its absolute peak. As soon as I would see like 1 or 2 cards, I was like, all right, this is probably the deck they're using. When I see the Chef, I don't need to see a card. I just know what's going to happen, what's going to be following up soon, and it's always just going to be P.E.K.K.A., Goblin Giant, then like 4 staples, and then 2 random cards that they just want to throw in there. kitasiyan, there he goes. Goblin Giant going down the lane.
And the P.E.K.K.A. and Goblin Giant will be the evolutions for Kita in this one. Fisherman going for the King Tower activation. Doesn't get it. Maybe a half tile off here. I mean, Mohammed Light going for the King Tower activation, and just the targeting not doing what he wanted, and Mo taking kind of a big hit there early.
Yeah, and a necessary hit, and just one of those mistakes that we don't often see from him. I kind of want to write a letter to Supercell and say, like, hey, why did you allow him to make that mistake, instead of recognizing that he made a mistake? Just, it feels wrong to say that.
And now Royal Giant down in front of the Evo Wizard. Lightning will clear the Wizard out of the back. RG should get at least 1, maybe gets a second courtesy of the Zap, and that turns things back around. Mohammed Light with the lead.
P.E.K.K.A. in the back coming in from kitasiyan. No offensive bridge pressure coming in from Mohammed Light, just electing to go in with a strong defense. And we know the Lightning's coming down, so we're going to have to see how Mohammed Light wants to approach this defense right now.
Monk able to get some reflection out of those arrows. Holding court there in the middle as DPS able to absolutely shred that Goblin Giant, and now Royal Giant in front of an Evo Wizard. Fish Boy behind to pull the P.E.K.K.A. E-Spirit to stun. RG gets pulled way in. Evolve going to do a lot of damage and some knockback. Arrows trying to stop the damage, but Mohammed Light running absolutely downhill, and with 1 second left in the round, he clears the tower and wins game number 1.
Yeah.
When we're talking about game 3 or later game 4, game 5, in some of our later rounds, maybe that's where you can snipe the matchup a bit more. Either way, Kita has to figure out something here in round number 2.
Mohammed Light going to be playing one of his, I mean, it feels like every deck is a bread and butter deck for Mohammed Light, but going to be running the Royal Hogs EQ Quake Cycle, most likely with the Archer Queen as well. kitasiyan on the other side. There's still a couple things open to him. And I don't know why every single time I see a Tesla, I want to say RG. It's probably going to be Hog coming in from kitasiyan.
And speaking of kitasiyan, we haven't seen as much of him at the higher levels of competitive for a while. He did have that #1 finish on ladder last year. His CRL career was primarily focused on 2v2. He played through FAV Gaming's Asian Championship season back in 2019. He and Kensumeshi were the best 2v2 duo in the league. 26 wins, 10 losses, a 72% win rate, absolutely dominating the 2v2 set. And it was Jack pretty much playing every solo for them. Jack going 27-19 overall on his solo campaign that season. So, you know, it's not to say that kitasiyan isn't a talented head-to-head player. Your former 2v2 partner, obviously, a very talented head-to-head player as well. A lot of people have done both. But it's fun to see kitasiyan getting some shine just on his own here in 2025.
Yeah, always an absolute pleasure to see some of these legends of the game still just show up and still have that skill level. And obviously, we're seeing it right here, battling it out with Mohammed Light, the best player in the world. So earlier we saw the Monk get activated, not get the proper chip damage on top of the Archer Queen, allowed it to activate its own ability a little bit too easily right here. Much better interaction, using the guards to take out the AQ, not let it activate its ability. So great switch up from an earlier mistake from kitasiyan. Its ability. So great switch up from an earlier mistake from kitasiyan.
About 30 seconds left in the standard time as Mohammed Light takes off the shield from the Evo Wizard and puts a little more damage on here. And that's one of the things we saw earlier in the Lucas match, was the Evo Wizard was getting up to and even crossing the bridge with the shield still on and adding just that little extra pressure. And Mohammed Light making sure that's not the case in this one, although that Hog should get one, and it does. And as we go into sudden death overtime, kitasiyan has narrowed the gap to just over 100 HP.
Yeah, and right there, Ice Spirit not getting the chip damage. This is just so difficult for Mohammed Light to get on top of the tower. And as I say that, all the Royal Hogs chipping away at the tower, getting it down to 651. I have no idea how that happened. kitasiyan has every answer you could possibly think of. The Tesla, Log, plus the Wizard. But, I mean, Mohammed Light, he just finds a way when you shouldn't be able to do it.
90 seconds left. Mohammed with the lead. Earthquake will once again peel the shield. Queen does not use ability. Saving Elixir for this oncoming push.
Right there, beautiful delivery. Cannon plus the delivery will take out not enough. The Ice Spirit is going to help, obviously, but will need to defend with the delivery as well. 452 to 871, 419 HP separating the two players. Mohammed Light just trying to get the EQ cycles. kitasiyan trying to figure out what he needs to do to get past this defense.
Possibly the last gasp for Akita. Cannon up high. He needs to cycle fast and try to beat out the spell situation. Log gonna be down. Hog doesn't connect, and that's GG. Well played. Easy day at the office for Mohammed Light in this upper bracket match.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look at his win percent, 93.75%. I guess it's not super shocking that he was able to come away with the